to the viewers at home, I love you so much. And welcome, 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 welcome. This is Cecelia Howard. And in today's edition of If Marriage is a Hard Work, if marriage requires a hard work, I have my sister on the show with me. Her name is Blessing, Mrs. Blessing, all the way from Mississippi. And she will be dishing out a whole wealth of wisdom with us. And actually, I didn't take it for granted to have her here today because I believe she could have choose something else, to be doing something else. But she intentionally decided to come on the show to share with us our own wealth of wisdom if marriage is a hard work. Sister Blessing, we're going to start all over again. And I'm going to give you the floor now. We would like to know what you think marriage is all about, and if you think marriage actually requires a hard work. Over to you, my sister. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Miss Cecelia. Thank you so much, my sister, for the opportunity. I don't take it for granted, and I really am humbled for the opportunity you're giving to me to come on your show, and for our viewers joining us this afternoon. Thank you for taking time this afternoon to join us in today's talk, and I hope that all that will be shared today will bless your life. Thank you so much. And yes, marriage, everything everybody wants to know about, right? All right. So marriage, what do I think about marriage? I think marriage is it's an institution, a sacred institution instituted by God. And the Bible says, for this reason, a man shall leave his father and mother and get united with his wife, and the two shall become one. Personally, when I made a decision to marry, it is a personal commitment I am making to live and do life and enjoy life with another person.
Wow.
And again, I want to underscore what I just said. I want to enjoy life with another person. And it's a decision that I am making to do. And in that, I want to honor God and uphold the purpose of God creating marriage. Because God said, the Bible said, all things that God made was good. Personally, for me, when I was going into marriage, I believe that marriage is good. Now, I have had personal experiences of a personal, I've seen marriages that are not so good, but I knew that if God created marriage, then it must be good, because he said everything he created was good, and there was like a way towards it to do it. So now, is marriage hard? I would say no, marriage is not hard. Marriage requires hard work. There is nothing in life that is good that does not require hard work.
Wow.
And we must be devoted to putting in the work to enjoy marriage. So that is my short answer to that. And well, once we begin to unpack, I can begin to give my long answers to that from my own personal experience. Are we allowed to keep it real?
Wow, Sister Blessing. Sorry, to my viewers at home, she is my real sister. So I'll be calling her Sister Blessing. I'll be calling her Mrs. Blessing. You actually dish out a lot of word of wisdom within the space of few minutes that we've had you on this show today. So let me start. You said God instituted marriage. Now, marriage is a beautiful thing from God, where God instituted it for a man to live and cleave to his wife so that the two can become one. And you also mentioned that marriage is a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I would really want you to elaborate on that. Because from my own opinion, I think if our young adults out there pick the wrong person, marriage can be the other side of a beautiful thing.
Oh, yes.
And in that I said, there are so many things embedded into that. Um, and also you said marriage does not require hard work, but every good thing requires hard work. Marriage itself is not art, but
Mm-hmm.
every good thing requires hard work. We
Mm.
really want to know. That's the reason why we brought you to this show. We want to know from your wealth of wisdom, Sister Blessing. I know that those words are there. We want to know why you think marriage is a beautiful thing. And in the other sense, if someone did not do it right, what do you think marriage can turn to? And also the hard work part of it. Every good thing requires hard work. We want to know what you really mean by this, because I believe those words are not just surface words, they are deeper words. Can you please?
Mm-hmm. Thank
What's
you
your
so much. Thank you so much for those questions. And here's the thing, think about this. You are making a commitment, a decision to live with somebody for the rest of your life. And for me, this is how I see marriage. I want to live with that person, grow old for the rest of my life. So I figure that there is a principle to marriage.
hmm,
Just like everything in life has its own principles, and once you begin to violate those principles or you don't live by those principles, you
hmm,
will suffer the consequences for that
hmm,
action. Now, let me go back to how, at least, example from my own personal life. Growing up, I'm the last of 6 children,
hmm,
and of course, deep in me, even when I didn't know what marriage was all about, I knew that one day I was going to get married. I saw
hmm,
my mom, my dad, they were married, and I knew it was going to happen. So I began to pray for my marriage way before I knew what marriage was all about. I didn't know what the words that I were using, but I was just saying, you know what, God, whoever this person is, when you do all those kind of play, I'm the mom, I'm the dad play growing up, I already was using my imagination. Wherever this person is, God, this is what I want. I was able to taste and live the type of marriage I wanted for myself before I got
hmm,
in. And I was not afraid to present those to God. And
hmm,
here's the thing, I was not just praying for the man I was going to marry, I
hmm,
was praying for his family.
hmm,
Because the Bible says, I will leave my own
hmm,
family and I will get united with another family. And
hmm,
once I get married, my parents passed when I was very young. So I
hmm,
knew it was an opportunity that God was giving to me to gain a new mother, to gain
hmm,
another father, to
hmm,
gain brothers and sisters. So I was intentional,
hmm,
praying to God about every single thing I wanted in the
hmm,
man and in the family I was going to marry to.
hmm,
Now, confident in me, I told God, when I turn 25, I want to be married. I don't know where that number came from,
hmm,
but
hmm,
2018, December 24, 2018, I turned 25. And 26 of that December was my traditional, 29 was my white wedding.
hmm,
So that means that if we go to God and we are intentional about it and we prepare, but here is the thing, I was not just hoping to get married, I was also working on myself.
hmm,
I was intentionally working on myself. I was learning about me.
hmm,
I was being okay being me.
hmm,
And I had everything. I kind of strategized like, okay, this is my red line.
hmm,
If I'm meeting, this is what I get. And one of those red lines for me was I cannot accept any form of emotional, verbal, or physical abuse from anybody.
Mm.
Because even though I'm married, I should be able to still enjoy life. I don't have
Mm.
to live under the shadow of another person.
Mm.
That is not what marriage was meant to be. And then I had all the areas of, yes, I can compromise on this. And I was so clear on those. Now, fast forward, when I was ready to get married, I dated and all of that.
Mm.
And here's the thing, I don't want to go into dating life, but I tell people the period of dating and courtship, especially for the woman,
Mm.
is so critical.
Mm.
It's not just about the ice cream, the flowers. People
Mm.
confuse things. Those are things you can get for yourself.
Mm.
There are things that are very critical, that are fundamental. One, like respect. Does this person even respect you?
Mm.
How does this person view you?
Mm.
Something like, something like faithfulness, loyalty,
Mm.
all of those things, they are more important than people buy me flower, buy me gold. So here's the thing. When my husband now, he asked me out May 19 of 2014,
Mm.
I paused. I paused him. And these were my words. And I told him, I want to tell you a little bit about my past.
Mm.
And I told him these were the things that I was dealing with.
Mm.
These were some experiences that I know were critical for him to know. They were
Mm.
fundamental for him to know. I
Mm.
told him that because you need to know me and accept and recognize what I'm carrying and things I'm still dealing with
Mm.
before you decide. It's not just this blessing. You need to know
Mm.
what's behind this blessing. I
Mm.
told him that.
Mm.
Then I also told him, I do not want money or gifts. As long
Mm.
as I have breath, I'm going to work for my money. I'm going to work because those were principles that my mom taught me, my parents taught me, to be able to fend for yourself. You should be able to provide. But I told him I wanted your love, loyalty, respect. Those were my three things.
Mm.
And here again for ladies, because sometimes when it comes to dating, we ladies want to package and
Mm.
just try to,
Mm.
I don't want this relationship to go south. I just want to package everything. That is where you have the time to define who you are. But the guy and the woman, you need to be able to bring it all. These are my principles, my should I say my red flags. These are my
Mm.
red lines. You need to
Mm.
be able to be open enough because to let the other person know.
Mm.
So I let him know of all those things. And once he accepted and he knew, and this was what the thing I told him, I am not going to love you more than you love me.
Wow.
And at any point, I'm going to walk away.
Mm.
Mess up. I know, so for so many women, we want to reduce
Mm.
ourselves. We want to come down to be accepted. I wanted him to know who I am truly, and to
Mm.
be able to accept me as a
Mm.
whole. I also want him to be himself, to know who he is, for me to know who he is.
Mm.
After then, we knelt down, we prayed, and we wrote the date. And
Mm.
then the actual work began.
Mm.
One thing for us was that day we crafted the vision for our marriage. Our marriage
Wow.
would be to honor God. It is bigger than both of us. So we in the marriage, we are accountable to God.
Mm.
Anybody. So when things come up in the marriage right now, what do? We go back to
Mm.
the roots, to that foundation. Why are we
Mm.
here together?
Mm.
Why are we here together? So what am I saying in essence is that marriage is not hard, but oh my God, you have to be courageous and bold enough to define the
Mm.
type of life you want to live, even when you're in marriage. Because I see a lot of people are enduring marriage. We say to each other, we are not here to endure marriage. So you better speak up. If you don't speak up, I will not know. We are not
Hmm.
here to do that. We are here to actually help each other
Hmm.
live our best potential, the
Wow.
best that we can. Yes,
Wow.
I think, yeah, but that's just my kind of a little bit short answer to that question. Short answer, very short answer to that question. There's still so much more to unpack about marriage. But the
Uh,
best of marriage is that you must try to be yourself at all time. You must try to be yourself. People are pretending, and people just because you want to uphold marriage, you're not living. You
hmm.
must be able to live. So the first step in marriage is choosing right.
Hmm.
Let's choose the right person.
Hmm.
Choosing right. And for me, I chose right.
Hmm. Hmm. Thank
Yeah.
you, Mrs. Blessing, for the word of wisdom. You've said a lot. So to me, it seems as if um, even right while you were growing up, you knew what you want for yourself. You know exactly what you want in your marriage. You know what you want for your future, even for your potential children then.
Oh yeah.
You know everything and you carefully prayed about it, committing everything diligently into God's hand. But you know what, Miss Blessing? A lot of our young adults out there, things are happening. A lot of them just want to get married. And you said another thing that is not just about the ice cream, the flower that the man is buying for you, because your own virtue and your own value is that I can get this for myself. I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't be carried away by the gift, by the flower, by the ice cream taking me out. I should know the fundamental because it's going to be more than that day.
Yes.
This is someone you want to intentionally spend the rest, as one of my guests said, somebody that you chose yourself. Because
Yes.
we are being given back to, we don't decide the family we go to, but the marriage on you chose.
You
But
choose it.
it's as if you growing up, you specifically know what you want, and you started praying about it right even before you get into marriage. So I want to say that you actually put in some work. So
Oh yeah.
what do you have to say to our young adults out there who don't want to put in the work? They don't want to pray about it. Some people are even of marriageable age. They don't have anybody talking to them. And they were like, oh God, even anyone that comes my
Mm.
way, I will just take it. And some people are also in marriage now. So it's two ways. Some people are in marriage now. They fall victim because they thought, oh, time is going, all the pressure, and they just go with the person that came their way. They didn't do their prayer, due diligence. And you said in your word that marriage should be enjoyable.
Should
You should
be.
be able to bring out my potential. I should be able to bring out your potential, not to be endured. So, what will you tell our young adults in that space and the people that are married in that space that are dealing with one thing or the other?
Okay. So let me start with the young adults, right? Again, prayer is key. Now, after prayer, you need to put in your own personal effort of knowing who you are because you're looking for somebody that could complement who you are, you know. And what do I mean by that? There were some things I did when I was just potential, just when I know, if you know that you are somebody you love to earn money, you love to make your own money, and you love to be in charge of things. Say, for example, for ladies, especially from our culture, we are always, when it comes to making money, of course, things are changing right now. The men are always the one that leads that, right? And sometimes there are men that are actually intimidated by women that are successful, that have this money, and you know yourself that you don't want to live that kind of life to just sit at home. These were the things I did. I know that I'm not that kind of person that would just, you cannot just push me to one corner. I was putting in little taste to every man. There are sometimes I was like, you know what? I have this money. Get in the car. Maybe I will pay your Uber trip. Because some people, for people, they will take that as an offense. How can you pay my Uber trip? I'm the man and all of that. Once somebody does that to me, I know it's my no, you cannot be. You are not comfortable with me being able to work and make money and support the family. Or on the other side, if I put this test, we go out, I don't bring my card, you pay the bill. And then for you to know, will this person be able to take care of me? Then if that person like, no, you pay this, I do that. Okay, no, we're not going that route. So you have to be able to decide, but that means that you must know what you actually want. So for my young people out there, all I will say is that what are those things that are important to you as a person? What are those things that are critical to you as a person? Then you must make sure you're communicating those. You must make sure you're looking at those qualities before we even go to the physical. We are going to go to the physical, but then you must look at those intangible qualities in your partner that is going to make you, because those things outlive whatever physical attraction we see. This body is going to fade. For a woman, for example, once you gave birth, your body is no longer the same. It's not the same shape and whatever. Of course, later on you can work on those. But at that moment, if you hold so much to the physical attraction, what about when that goes? There is this example. I'm just going to be sincere. This example of a marriage, this thing that I attended. One of the old women, that was my friend's marriage, traditional marriage. One of the old women brought a slipper, like flip-flop, and he brought it and he gave to the husband. And he said, hold this. And the husband held it. And she's like, turn it around. And the husband turned it around. And the husband to be turn it around. And the woman said, look at your wife to be. And he did say, look at her breasts. And he did. He said, you see those breasts standing the way they are? In few years to come, when she give birth and everything, that breast is going to come down. Just like the way the slipper look. Do you think that at that moment you will still look at this lady and see her attractive as she is today? So that is going beyond just the physical appearance and all this beauty that we all go. Especially today, when you have to have the finest front and the finest back, the waist has to be thin. Those things don't hold marriage, because those things are going to fade. They do not hold, because young people are so much into all those kind of things. But you have to define those intangible things, like truly, is this person going to be there for me when I need him or her? Will this person be able to defend my family? If this person makes an action, takes any action, do I think that this person is acting in the best interest of my family? And here is the thing: before myself and my husband we started dating, he did something. When we were in Costa Rica, he did something. I was sick and hospitalized for 1 week. He was in his final year, and that is the toughest year. There's a whole lot of work and things to do. He was taking the toughest course, irrigation and drainage. But I was in that hospital, and this man, we were not dating. He left his class and he was with me 1 full week. There was nothing. We were just friends. There was nothing. He was with me 1 week. And even before, people will come and they were addressing me as mi esposo, and all of my husband, or mi novio, my boyfriend. He wasn't, but they saw that. So that kind of opened my eye. I was like, this one is a rare breed. I cannot let him go. For somebody that can make such sacrifice, you can already tell how they are going to relate with you later in future. If you're a good person, you're going to be a good person. But if you get the wrong people in your life, they say crayfish we don't bend. I'm not going to get crayfish that's already dry. And you are, no matter, even if you put that crayfish in ice block, there is no way to revive it. So you must make sure you're choosing fresh fish. Don't go carry crayfish and you want to make it something else. So you must, during dating, be intentional, getting to know that person, getting to know. And even when you are now in the marriage, again, I want to forward, there is a period of settling down in your marriage. That is, we say honeymoon stage, those first few months, the flight goes up. If you're in the airplane, the flight goes up, there's turbulence and everything. You have to settle. You feel so good once that flight, oh, we are taking off. Everybody feel excited, but then it's begin to shake. And then you stabilize and then you go. And of course, just like the flight, even in the air, the turbulence still happen. But you must, to arrive to your destination, you must pass through those moments. Imagine if the flight attendant and all what's it called? The pilots, they say, oh no, this plane is shaking so much, let us land, let us drop. No, you have to pass through that. So the settling moment, just few months, or maybe some people it can be a year, you have to learn each other. I don't know how long you have to you are dated or you they call it courtship last, but that is not enough time to know one another. We're learning about each other every step of the way. So what do I say? For us, they were principles. I had my own personal principles. I communicated those to him. He communicated his own principles to me. For him, he loved his family. I also love my family. So he told me family was important to him. And I knew that. That was just God confirming my prayer, because that was one thing I prayed. If this man cannot treat his family right, me like this may be stranger, how will he treat me? You don't see those. How does this person just treat ordinary people? Because it's not going to be so much different. People think, let me just carry whoever and then I'll make them what I want them to be. There are things that are core to us that you cannot change. So during that settling time, things will happen. For example, that is when you begin to craft all your principles for your family together, like a principle that you must. And I ask people a lot of questions where to know. Some people are like, okay, once we have a misunderstanding and we talk about it, we don't bring it up again because we've dealt with it. We should move on. For us, one of those big principles that we cannot sleep when we are angry with each other. You can't go to bed. So if I offend you, you have to be able to cool off. We call it, you go cool off before you even speak. We cannot speak to each other when we are angry because words matter. I must say something, even though I take that word back, but it goes in. And the devil uses all those things. So we were so careful. If I offend you, you go cool off and then come we talk about it. And here's the thing. If I offended you maybe a few hours before we go to bed, then you have to cool off so fast. That is also dealing with my anger. You have to go cool off so fast because we need to. So they were just those little principles. Now, again, what are other things you have to talk about? People don't go around to discuss every area of marriage. They just focus on the love side. They don't talk about finances. How do we handle finances? How do we deal? Those are things you have to talk about. And how do I know how this person thinks about money? There are people that are so stingy. There are people that just throw away money. Before those principles, before when we were dating, how do we share responsibility about money? What do we think? What's my own understanding of money? What is his own understanding of money? How do we craft a single purpose for our money? We lay those foundations strong. Then we talk about kids. We talk about family, external family. For us in our home, it's like, this marriage is between those three people in this marriage. In our marriage, there is just three people. Him, me, and God. And we call it three chords. Three of us, they are the only people in this marriage. Any other person, not even friends. Our kids, how do we view our kids? They are blessing God has given to us to steward over. We steward over our kids. Some people, once they begin to have kids, what is it? Kids take over the place of my husband. The kids take over the place of my wife. And that is misplaced priority.
Hmm.
You know, those were the things that we discussed. Then we talk about sex. How do you define? These are things that pull families apart, but you have to be able to discuss those things. How do you? It's just the same way as much as marriage is sweet and all of that, it requires hard work. It's the same thing. Sex is a central part. Is an what's it called? Important, critical part of marriage that people don't talk about. People don't even discuss. Even among husband and wife, they are shy to discuss it. You have to be able to talk about it, learn what each other know, learn what each other wish for, learn what each other want to enjoy, discuss it, find ways to always improve and spice up things. So, like again, we have to go all around defining those principles in each of these very aspects of marriage. For young folks, I would say, if you have pastors, do marriage counseling. You have to do a marriage because that is the place. I forgot to show. Maybe I'll take a picture of this book. It's a workbook that we used. We met with our pastor. That was almost how many months? Maybe 3 months or so. Back to back dinner, real raw. This was not like it's not like just going to quote scripture there. No, real raw. We did those work. He gave me part for me, part for him. We come together, we discuss all of those things because that is a place to truly know each other. So they are just those things to really know and to what's it called, fine tune before you get into marriage. Therefore, those people that are already in marriage and you find that okay, this is not what I hoped for, this is not what I was expecting. Again, I want to be sensitive to the fact that there are people that are really in bad marriage. And for me as a person, if you are in a marriage where you're experiencing domestic violence, where you're any form of, I would say, again, it doesn't want to live under the same roof to continue to experience such. But aside of that, aside of that, for those still experiencing bad marriage, other things can be defined as bad marriage. It's all about, again, prayer, communication. When we're dating, even still right now, whenever we have misunderstanding, again, where do I go to? I go to what I know that works for me. Prayer, talking to God, it works for me. Even when we're dating, there were times that we would just call each other. Maybe we've offended each other, we'll just be looking at each other and be crying. Communication was key principle for us. We say no matter how bad things comes, you can't cut off communication. We'll just be looking at each other. We cry. We pray. We go. So if things happen, I know where to go to. For me, it's my place of prayer. Place to talk to God. He's above all. And by me talking to God, God reveals to me my own part, my own share of what we're going through. And God works on him too. So for me, that's just like my own. If you're already in a kind of bad marriage, pray about it, seek counseling, seek godly advice, and let God guide your decision. But one thing, don't be in marriage and during marriage, speak up, and speak up loud, especially to the person that you're married to. Communicate effectively to them. Don't just keep quiet. Communicate what your needs are or what you're experiencing.
That's a lot of word of wisdom. Sister Blessing. Wow. Let me start from the back. So, you've said a lot. But what you are saying or what you've said is that even before someone embark on the journey of marriage, they have to pray. And why they are still married, they have to pray. And even for the future, they still have to pray.
Yes.
But we have a lot of young adults out there. They are so lazy. They don't want to play. They don't want to pray. They just believe that, oh, this butterfly, the one day, you know. And we have a lot of pretenders out there, people that are married for a long time. They will not talk. They will not enlighten them. They will not encourage them. And another thing is that statistically, they say that men are more than women. So most young ladies, they don't even have that choice. They are just looking for that man. Oh, let him come and propose. And even when they know that this is the bad man, or even the guy, you know, you're dating somebody that just paying the money, she doesn't care, your value does not align, but they just feel, oh, I remember my auntie, the pressure from my auntie every time we have family dinner. Who are you dating? When are you bringing this person home? You know, they just want to do the right thing to fulfill all righteousness for their family that are mounting pressure on them.
Mm.
So what you're saying now is that they have to wait because it's better for them to carefully do it
Mm-hmm.
so that they don't rush out. Because it seems as if what you're saying is that even people that carefully seek God's face and hear from God for themselves, not that this pastor said, this one said, they will still have that turbulence because you said there is when you get married, the first day, butterfly in the tummy, then there is settling, like the plane taking off, then there will be turbulence. But when the turbulence comes, you have to know the reason, the why.
Mm-hmm.
You have to focus on God, the three cord that bound the two of you together. You have to go back to God and say, walk on your son, walk on your daughter. I don't know what is happening, but I don't get to understand, but I know that you can take care of it. So in all this, what you're saying is that, to me, what I can take away from all this you said is that marriage requires a lot of hard work. Some people, they've not even prayed for themselves, finish.
Mm.
They'll be praying for somebody. And some people just think, all our young adults there, some of them just think, let me just pray the right man to come. But what you said today, Miss Blessing, is that it's not enough for you to pray for the right man to come. You must continuously pray to sustain that marriage.
Mm.
Because
Yeah.
all this physical stuff will fade, but the principle, the virtue, the foundation on which the marriage is being built on, we have to stand the test of time. And
Yes.
if those virtue is not there, it's just gonna be a scam.
Yeah. Yeah.
This Miss Blessing, I think this marriage of a thing is a scam.
Well, he's not.
I think it's a lot of hard work compared to what
No.
when we're growing
Oh.
up, we just say, oh, get married, your life will be better,
Your
everything
life
is
will be
fine.
better. Get the ring.
Get the ring, the diamond. Hey, he proposed.
He proposed.
But
And
what you're telling me now is beyond what our young adults out there think. You know,
here's the truth. Marriage is sweet, it's enjoyable, but marriage requires you dying to yourself every day.
hmm,
You see, I wish there is a way to really explain. Again, let me go back. When we mean pray, a lot of people, we've seen prayer, especially if you're coming from Nigeria. It's most like prayer, you have to hit you've not prayed if you've not hit your head on the wall. You've not prayed if you are not speaking in tongue and rolling on the floor.
hmm,
Prayer is from a sincere heart.
hmm,
For me, the way I see God is that a friend, a dear friend, your best
hmm,
friend you want to talk to,
hmm,
pour your heart.
hmm,
It does not mean, oh, you have to clap and jump and do all of those things. If the spirit say you do, you do. But no, it's not what people see. Look at the Bible description of two people that went to pray. One was in synagogue and throwing himself and telling God. The other one, the Bible says he could not even lift his face from the floor. Is here speaking from your heart to God. You don't need to close your eye. Like sometimes I even say, this is the way I talk to God. Like the way I'm speaking, I say, Daddy, please sit up, sit down. We need to discuss. This is happening. This is happening. And it's not something, it takes you a while to come to begin to cultivate those kind of ways to talk to God and hear God talk to you back. For me, God talks to me a lot in my dreams. There is nothing that happens in my life or my family that he does. I see it. I know. I see before it happened. And here's the thing. Before anybody, people go, oh, my pastor has to confirm that this person this is the one meant for me. Nobody is meant for you. Even God is. So my pastor has to confirm. No, but because of that trend of me talking to God and praying about my marriage, God see my heart. And when I was growing, at least when I got to the stage of dating or whatever, having crush and all this kind of thing, if any guy was coming close to me, that I know if God know that I started having feeling towards that person, in my dream, there were people that he would tell me in the dream plainly, blessing, there was one he said, blessing, if you will die. And he showed it to me. But this is the opposite. When I met my husband, oh my God, I've never felt for him like I felt for any man. I don't think I will ever feel that. I hated that feeling why can I be helpless? Because these were the things I told myself I cannot go to marriage, dating people, this butterfly feeling of the heart. No, I was dating with my head. My head had to be correct so that I can see all those red flags and red flags and all those things. But I put up those walls just to guide myself but when it came to him, God showed me in the dream. I remember I was fighting all my feelings I was having for him. I had 2 weeks fasting. God, take this away from me. Because I would go to class and I would be writing his name. That was my first year in the university. Oh my God. I would be writing his name. It was crop science course, cultivos, we call it. The professor is talking and I'm just there writing his name in my book, and I just want him to call me. I just want him to say, I was like, I don't want to feel this helpless before anybody. I didn't want it. I was praying. Wednesday, that was 2 weeks fast. Wednesday before Friday of the end of my fast, I had that dream. He came to my what's it called? To my hostel, and then he knocked on my door. I opened the door. I was cleaning and all of that. And I asked, what are you doing here? And he told me he came to rest. When I woke up from that dream, I was like, God, you get some joke. Because I'm serious. This guy, he does not even know where I live. He doesn't even know my dorm. He doesn't know. I don't think he does not know. So why will he come to my place? So I was just praying, and then on Friday, that was the last day of my fast. I was cleaning my room. The same clothes. I still remember he was wearing a blue jean, a gray t-shirt, a bag, the same, what's it called, shoes he was wearing. He came and he knocked on my door. Exactly the same black dress I was wearing, exactly the same pink bed sheet I had, because I clean my room, I clean everywhere. Fridays is like I make my room like my own sanctuary. I clean up everything. That was like, I opened the door. I was shocked to see this guy standing. And I asked him, what are you doing? Exactly the same word. I came to rest. How after that, how our relationship turned, how we became, everything is like fairy tale, because I was just riding on God carrying me through this relationship. But this will not be possible if I have not intentionally brought it sincerely to God. It's not that I was going to this pastor pray for me. It's not bad. But you have to be able to hear God for yourself. Let God, I said, pastors are good to confirm things, but you, for a child of God, pastors should be reconfirming what God has already confirmed to you. Because in that matter, there's people that are in their marriage right now because they are suffering. My pastor did not tell me. Oh no, I did not hear well. If this happen, I go to God. Sometimes when he's like, I say, the account I want out. Even those moments I want out, I was like, but wait a minute, this was the guy I felt so much for. And God showed me this. I go back. When I go to God and I pray, you know what he tells me? All I hear, patient. To be patient. And over these years, we've dealt with all the challenges of knowing each other. There are challenges to truly know each other because I was born, my experience growing up is totally different. His Yoruba and Igbo is totally different. So those they are totally two different things. So even to live under the same roof, we need to learn each other. And those are challenges. And those challenges, overcome them, you overcome them in the presence of God. In the presence of God, and truly being open to listen to each other and communicate effectively. So women, you think, oh, I just need to manipulate. Stop manipulating. Be open and talk. Communication is not manipulation. Something is happening. Being able to table it down, clear as water. Know you. And here's the thing: when it comes to communication, for us is here. Sometimes we do things that we don't intend to. Sometimes we do things with the best of intention. But the other person might be experiencing the things that I did in different way. So when we come to talk, if he is saying something to me, I cannot shut him down because that was not what I intended for. I must listen with empathy to understand how he received my action. It might not be what I intended, but I have to listen to him. It took me a while to crack to get to that point, but it takes effort every day, reminding each other, baby, you did this. Baby, this happened. This was how I received it. And then the other person, then I can see from his own heart when he I knew today if my husband did something, I knew that he must have thought about me like a million times. He had thought about my family. I don't know, countless times before his. I know that he did with the best intention. Probably might not be what I was hoping for, but I knew that because it takes me a lot of time to learn his heart, where it comes from. So being able to listen in when the other person, to experience the other person's, hear the other person's experience of my action is very critical to truly unpacking journey of marriage. It's a journey, it's not a marathon. For ladies that want to jump into marriage, there is this saying that a dead dog, a living dog is better than a dead lion. Why do you want to put your head just because you want to fulfill? There were things. Don't live your life for anybody. That you are getting old and all of that. That pressure should not be there. Enjoy your life. I tell people, you have to be okay being you. Be okay loving you. Be okay taking care of you, admiring you. Because if you are not okay, even when you're in the marriage, the person is not every time, every marriage is not sweet all the marriage is not sweet all the time. There's sometimes you have to chew bitter cola. Marriage, when those challenges come. But you have to have enough honey in your mouth to mix with the bitter cola to be able to swallow it. You need to be producing that honey in your mouth, being okay with yourself. Enjoy yourself. Take yourself out on a date. Movie night, if you need movie night. You don't need a man to hold your hand and go to movie night. If you get into the marriage and you have the man taking you, good and fine, you do that. I tell you, even in the marriage itself, you get so busy. People think, It's sweet though, but in marriage you get so busy. When children come, responsibility come, and sometimes you be panicking. When was the last time we even get together, self? And when I mean together, when was the last time we have sex? You have to, you need to plan and fit that into whatever thing. So what am I saying for you ladies out there? One, marriage should not be the reason why. What's it called? Sex should not be the reason why you're getting married. Shouldn't be your main reason. Somebody getting you gifts shouldn't be your main reason. Because you're running away from what the culture is going to say shouldn't be your main reason. Because when you get there, those people that were pressuring you, they are still going to be the one to talk bad about you. If you're someone married you, some of them will be the one laughing at you. So why do you even care about people that might not even truly care? So enjoy yourself while you continue to prepare towards marriage. Don't jump in. Again, a living dog is better than a dead lion.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Blessing. That was so much, so much, so much. In fact, I even learned myself. I was able to learn one or two things from all what you've said. That we need to have the honey constantly in our mouths, because at times the marriage will bring his own bitter color. But if you have the the honey constantly in your mouth, you'll be able to mix it up.
You can
To
choose
shake
and
off
swallow
the
it.
bitterness. Yes, to
I'm
shake off the bitterness and to keep riding to enjoy marriage. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you. To the viewers at home, thank you so much for joining us today. We've had a lot of word of wisdom from Miss Blessing, all the way from Mississippi. She was able to help us and to
Davy. It was so sweet.
I'm so sorry. She was able to help us to digest and also to help us unlearn that marriage actually requires a hard work, and that marriage requires bringing God into it, and marriage requires us being intentional. And for the young adults out there, that we should not, because of pressure from families, from friends, rush into it. We should use our head, not the butterfly in our stomach, to make sure that we're making the right decision. And we shouldn't be carried away with the money, the wealth, the gift, because love can fade. But the value, the virtue, what you've set for yourself, your commitment, your agreement will be the thing that will hold your marriage, even in turbulent time.
Yes.
I hope you can go back, rewatch this video, share with your loved ones, and I also hope that you've been able to learn one or two things from my guest today. She was really, really raw with us. She really, really poured out herself. And I really, really appreciate that. We didn't take it for granted. Thank you so much, Miss Blessing. And by the way, I'll be having our husband on the show in 2 weeks' time. So we'll be hearing from Dr. Ibuku to give us his own perspective if marriage is a hard work. And that's gonna be wild.
I'm looking forward to that. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Blessing. I really, really appreciate you. All right, today we're gonna end this show here, and we will be right back next week, same time, 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. And I'm wishing you a blessed week and a blessed day. I love you all. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss Blessing. Bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you.